Welcome to Tech Tool of the Week. I am Jenna Lee Quez, and I'm going to show you how to make a Google quiz in Google Forms. The first thing you need to do is go to google.com and make sure you are signed into your account. You can do your HISD account or your personal account. Either way is fine. Then you're going to go to these little boxes where your apps are and choose Drive. Once you're in your Drive, you will go over to the New box. Click on that. And go down to More and then click on Google Forms. This is what it looks like when it first opens up. You'll need to title it, so I'm going to call this World War I Quiz. You'll want to do it as detailed as possible so that you can find it easier later. Then you are going to put in a spot for their first name. Most of the time, since I've made so many of these, it will automatically change it to short answer. But if it doesn't, you just come over here and click on it. These are all of your choices. Short answer, of course, is self-explanatory. Paragraph is a longer answer. Multiple choice, check boxes, drop down. Multiple choice is what you're going to be using for the quiz if you want it to grade itself. You also have these options if you're math. Alright, and then once you get that in there, I also click Require because some of my students sometimes forget to put their name in there, which is silly, I know, but it happens. So then you're going to press the Add, which will add another question for you. And I'm going to do last name. The reason why I separate these is because it makes it easier to organize the data later. I also put them in by class period because otherwise it's difficult to separate the data. I don't know why it's not letting me click that. Probably because I'm trying to show you. Let me get rid of that one. Alright, so add an option right here. Oh, that's why. You have to click on add option. I'm going to put it in just for my AP periods because this is going to be an AP quiz. I'm also going to require last name and class period. It won't let them submit it without these three things if it's required. Then I'm going to add another box, and this is where I would start putting my questions in. So what were the causes of World War I? And then I'm going to start putting my options in. For this question, I will teach the kids an acronym, and so that's what I'm going to use for my answer choices. So once I get my answer choices in there, I would continue to add questions. To make it a quiz, you go up here to your little gear box. The other thing that you need to remember if you're signed in with your HISD Gmail, you need to unclick this box. Otherwise, it will require them to take it using HISD Gmail, and that's really not necessary. To make it a quiz, you go over to where it has quizzes right here, and you click on this little box. Then it gives you some options. You can give them the grade immediately after the submission. I usually don't do that because most of the time I have some short answers in there as well. You can also let them see the missed questions, correct answers, and point values. I usually don't do that either because I don't want them to give correct answers to the next class. Sometimes they can be sneaky, as we all know. So anyway, then you're going to come back here to the questions. Of course, if this were an actual quiz, I would have more questions. You're going to click on Answer Key, and you'll choose the one that is the correct answer. You'll also give it a point value. So I'm going to say this one is 1 point. You also have the option of adding answer feedback, which is really cool. And then you go back to Edit Question. When you're adding questions in, you can also insert pictures and insert video, and then this is for if you want to add a different section of the quiz, which I'll show you that in the next tutorial. One other thing when you're doing these quizzes, if you go to the Google store, you can add on Advanced Summary by Awesome Table. And I'll do a tutorial about this. This helps you graph the data, which is super cool if you are a visual person. Then, once the kids start taking the quiz, you'll see the responses come in through here. Let me grab one that I already have done so that you can see that. So this is one that I used. I used this for a Do Now. You'll see my questions here. These were a free response, so they were not multiple choice. You go in here to Responses. This gives you a summary of each kid that has taken it. But if you want to put it in a graph, which is the best way, you go to Google Sheets right there, and it will pull up in graph form. So now I can easily go through here and look at their answers. What I love about it is that it's so organized and it's really simple to grade. I usually will grade one question at a time, and so I scan through here to look for keywords. This question was about what is historical content, and this student wrote when it was written. That's very clearly wrong. This one's talking about background information and time period. So I see keywords here and I can grade it very quickly. If it's multiple choice, it will have an extra row here that will tell you what their score is. So that's also super easy. And that's the basics of Google Quiz. Let me know if you have any questions at jkwezi@houstonisd.org. Thank you so much.